hope everyone is doing well. I hope everyone had a great Easter weekend. Thank you for popping on and joining me today. I am still on my little travel journey with the horses, so we are on the road again today and headed back home. So I thought it would be a good opportunity to hop on here and do a little chit chat. Do apologize if this phone is a little jumpy today. I have to get a better hands-free setup to do these, but I don't have it quite yet, so I'm trying to make do with what I have. So I'll come right to the chase today because I want to talk about failure and, well, let me start over. So I have been down here going to horse shows. We've made several runs at different places, and with my one horse, it's been great. With my other horse, it has been really not great. The first place we went, this was our first run, and as you can see, it was really nice. I mean, it wasn't perfect. We got by the first barrel a little bit, but second barrel, third barrel, everything felt really nice. And I was so excited after this run because it just felt so good. And you know, this is the horse that I had taken down to World Finals, and she had done really well. I had taken her to a couple smaller jackpots before heading on this bigger road trip, and she had done really well. And I really just had such high hopes for the weekend that she was gonna just do great and we were gonna do great. And we made this run on Friday night and it felt great, and you know, I'm just like, yes, all right, we're cooking with gas now. Like, we're about to rock and roll through this season. Fast forward to Saturday night, and this is our run. So didn't feel good about this. Obviously, we hit a barrel. Obviously, that is not the point. You don't want to hit barrels. And more than just hitting the barrel, like, if you know anything about barrel racing or horses, you can probably see in this video that it wasn't just that we tapped the barrel or, you know, missed the timing by a millisecond. I mean, this is a game of perfect timing and perfect position, so it's not unusual for people to maybe be a little less than perfect, and maybe they tap a barrel on the way in or on the way out. So, you know, hitting a barrel is not the end of the world, but the problem with this is, like, we were just out of sync. Her body position is wrong. Like, everything is just wrong about this. But you know, that being said, I tried to just chalk it up to, okay, we had a bad run. I mean, these things happen. We're not perfect. Fast forward to Sunday night, and this happened. Same thing, like, bad body position, bad placement going into the second barrel. We're, like, not communicating. We're fighting with each other. I'm off balance. She's angry. She feels me off balance and bucks me off. I have no chance of even trying to sit this buck because I was so far out of balance and out of place before she even started. Like, I just had not even a prayer of staying on. Luckily, although I was definitely hurt, you know, I wasn't seriously hurt, no broken bones or nothing that you can't come back from. So I count my blessings about that. But obviously, super frustrating that, you know, we've had these now 2 really bad runs back to back. So trying to shake it off, right? As you always do, you try to, like, just appreciate the mistakes that you make for learning opportunities, and you try to move on. So that's what we did. Went to hauled to another place as soon as possible because I didn't want to let that run sit, for too long. You want to get that out of your head as quick as you can. So as soon as I had the other opportunity, we went to another race, ran again. I was like, all right, I think I know what I need to do to fix our problem, so I'm gonna, but that's my goal, is to do that and to focus on that. I thought I had it figured out. I got up real early, I went over and did some exhibitions, tried something else a little new to hopefully see if it worked, and our exhibition run was terrible. Like, I don't have a video of it, but like we just plowed right over the barrel, like just over top of it. So I'm like, all right, well, back to the drawing board, because I thought I had figured it out, but evidently I haven't figured it out because we're still failing miserably. So tried something else again. The next night, slowed it down a little bit. It's better here, as you can see, but still not perfect. But I thought maybe I was, on to something. I thought maybe I had figured out the situation. So I really focused on working on what I thought we needed to work on for the next week or so. Went back to another big barrel race, and Friday night's run was like okay, and then Saturday we have this happen again. And as you can see, it's not, like I was saying before, it's not just that we hit the barrel. It's like we are just not at all together. Like we're not in sync. We're not communicating. We're fighting each other. We're off balance. The horse isn't using his body correctly. So I was just super frustrated. And in fact, I was already entered in the next day to run her, and I just said, nope, I'm scratching. I'm just throwing my entry fees down the drain and chalking them up to a loss, because something is like not right. I need to figure this out. Like it's just badness, and like I don't know what's going on, but there's no point in making more runs and having just more badness. So obviously at this point I am beyond frustrated, right? Beyond just upset, beyond disappointed. So that's what I want to talk about today. I want to talk about failure and failing and what it feels like when we hit what we think is rock bottom. Not to sound like a drama queen, because obviously things can always get worse. So you don't want to be a drama queen about it, but I do believe that you feel like you're hitting rock bottom in these moments like this. And I think it's okay to feel like that a little bit and to feel that disappointment, as long as we don't let it kind of overtake everything and overtake us, and as long as we don't become reactionary. So obviously this past month I have been in my head really spiraling about feeling like a failure with this thing that I'm trying to do. We had a mistake, we had a learning opportunity. I thought I fixed it, didn't fix it, had more mistakes, thought I could fix it again, can't fix it again. Like, you just start to get to the point where you feel like you don't know what else to do, you don't know where else to go, you're just kind of at a loss. It's like, I thought I had the answers, I don't have the answers, I'm trying something different, still not the answer, and you just keep failing over and over. And it's such a frustrating place to be. And I think it's even more frustrating when it is accompanied with disappointment, which usually it is, right? Like, usually if you are trying to do something or work on something or accomplish something, you have high hopes, you're hopeful about it, you're excited about it, and when it all goes up in smoke, it's really disappointing, especially if you have put so much work and effort into something and it goes up in smoke. It's really disappointing. So not only are you frustrated because you can't figure it out and you feel like you're failing, because you are failing in that moment at least, and you're disappointed, and you just start to go into this tailspin of feeling like, I'm not good enough for this. Why am I even bothering trying to do this? Like, why am I spending all this time and energy on this situation? I might as well just throw in the towel. Like, who am I kidding? I don't belong here. Like, you start to spiral so quick. And it's so amazing to me because you could have accomplished so much up into the point where you hit a plateau and you start to feel like you're failing. But all of that goes out the window. It's like our minds just forget. Like, they just completely forget all that you've already accomplished or all that you've already done. Forget that you got yourself to where you are. Forget to acknowledge all the goals you've already met and how grateful you should be for how far you've already come. All that's just out the window, and you just start to spiral into this place of, I'm not good enough, I'm never gonna get it, I'm never gonna get there, why am I even trying? And you get really close to feeling like you want to give up. And I think a lot of people in those moments of failure do give up. And I think that what separates people who really accomplish really remarkable things in their life from the people who maybe don't accomplish the same remarkable things in their life is the ability to push through that period of the tailspin failure, where you just are spiraling into this headspace of, I don't even want to bother with this anymore. It's a very known phenomenon that when you are trying to get better at something, or when you are trying to work on improving or growing, you reach plateaus in that process. So you might get, like, let's say you're trying to learn to play a musical instrument. I played musical instruments when I was younger, and they used to tell us this all the time when, our teachers and our mentors used to tell us this all the time. If you're trying to get better at playing the piano, you're going to have periods of plateau. You're going to start, you're not going to know anything, you're going to be a complete novice, and you're going to start making little baby steps, and you're going to get better and better, and you're going to feel like you're making progress, and it's going to feel really good, and it's going to motivate you to keep going and motivate you to work harder. But you're going to eventually reach, sorry, my sleeve is bothering me, but you're going to eventually reach a point where you're going to feel like you hit a plateau, or you're going to feel like you backslide a little bit. And that plateau is just because you're reaching a new level of expertise. You have gone from being a beginner at the novice level to being a expert at the novice level. But once you reach expert novice level, now the next place to go is to bump up from novice level to intermediate level, or whatever you want to call it. But when you bump up into that next level, you're going to be a novice again in that next level. So you're going to feel like you've taken a step back. Even though you are getting better, in that moment in time, it feels like you hit a plateau, or it feels like even you take a step backwards and you get worse for a little bit. But if you keep pushing through, then eventually you start to get better at that intermediate level, and you start to work your way up the ranks, and then you master the intermediate level. And then you're going to hit the plateau again when you bump up to the advanced level. And that's the normal progression of improvement or mastery or getting better at anything. when we think about failure, we should remember that failure is a part of the process of improvement. If you're not failing, you are not pushing yourself beyond the bounds of what you're already skilled at or what you're already comfortable in. If you're pushing yourself, you're going to fail. And you're going to have to push through that failure. And this goes for anything worthwhile in life. If you are really trying to advance yourself, if you're really trying to better yourself, you are going to hit points in the process where you are failing, where you feel like a failure, where you feel like giving up, where you just are so frustrated and so disappointed, you don't know what to do with yourself. And I'm here to challenge you and to remind you, just like I have to challenge and remind myself because it's not easy, you have to embrace the failure. You have to embrace feeling like you are terrible. You have to embrace the failure. You have to embrace the feelings of just that terrible feeling of like that you aren't good enough, that you can't figure it out, that you can't get it together. Because in that moment, in that headspace, that is where you're going to find the thing that propels you into the next level, or propels you into the greater achievement or the greater advancement. Nobody wants to feel uncomfortable. Nobody wants to feel like we're not good enough. Nobody wants to feel like our time and energy has been a big waste because we are just flunking at whatever we're trying to do. Nobody wants to feel that, but I'm telling you, when you feel it, you should try to get a little excited about it because you're on the verge of making some sort of breakthrough. If you allow yourself to keep going and to push forward and find the lessons in the failure and figure out what you have to do different, and then have the energy and the determination to keep going, you are on the verge of a breakthrough. And it won't be a breakthrough that lasts forever, because eventually you're going to hit another point where there's more failure and there's more frustration, and you're going to have to push through that again. But the challenge for us is to have awareness and to have the understanding that when we hit those points in life, it doesn't matter what it is, but when you hit that point in life, no matter what you're doing, try to embrace it, try to turn towards it, and realize that like, if you allow that moment, it's going to propel you into something better, into a better version of whatever it is that you're working to be. So I am here to tell all of you out there that I completely understand how hard this is. I'm not in the greatest headspace right now with what I'm doing with my horse, my one horse. And it's going to take some time for me to figure this out. I'm planning to like put in a lot of work and just fingers crossed that it's the right work and that it makes a difference. I don't know what the end of the story is going to be yet. I don't know. Like, you're just kind of winging it on a little bit of a prayer. Sometimes you just have to trust yourself that you're smart enough to figure it out. Even if you haven't figured it out yet, and even if you don't know the end of the story yet, you just got to keep going, and you got to trust that you're going to get it figured out. That you just have to embrace the moment of failure. You have to understand that this is, even though it's very hard to do, you have to understand that this is a point in the growth process where you should be excited because you're about to make a breakthrough. If you allow yourself to push forward and keep going, you're about to come out on the other side knowing something that you didn't know before, being able able to do something you couldn't do before, having an achievement that you didn't have before. You're on the verge of something better happening. You're on the verge of getting to a better place if you just keep going. Kind of like what I always say about the comfort zone, you know, nothing extraordinary ever happens in the comfort zone. If you want to do good things, achieve great things, if you want to push yourself to be something better in whatever realm applicable to your life, you have to go outside your comfort zone. If you don't feel a little uncomfortable, a little nervous, a little uncertain every now and again, you're probably not pushing yourself as hard as you could be. And the same thing comes with feeling failure. If you're not feeling some failure sometimes, and if you're not feeling some frustration and some disappointment, and having to work through that and push through it and push past it, you're probably not pushing yourself to be as good as you could be, or the best that you could be at whatever it is that you're doing. Try to embrace that. Try to embrace the discomfort. Try to embrace the failure. And just understand that this is part of the path to something better. And then just keep going. Don't give up. I'm right here with you making the struggle. So I know the struggle is real, and we just got to keep going. I hope everyone has a great rest of your day, and I will keep you posted on how things are going here. And good luck. I hope everyone has a good rest of the week. Bye.